Hi.
Welcome back. Welcome back. We're so glad to be with you this evening for the next edition of
Monday.
Not Live. Yeah. Welcome. Welcome.
We missed last week because we missed
on?
last week because of our anniversary. We were in Nashville celebrating our
Third wedding anniversary.
It's not our third.
We were busy. Okay.
It was our sixth wedding anniversary.
Yes. Sixth. Going on 20th. Can't wait.
Yeah. So
I'm going to be married to you for 100 years.
You're going to be married to me for eternity. I don't know what you're talking about.
At least 100 years. Thank you so much for the happy anniversary wishes. You're welcome. If you know someone who's not feeling their best right now, who's not enjoying optimal health, you're welcome to share this video with them. One of the questions that's asked and the answer given might be the very thing, the very seed that gets planted that helps them start to change their life. So please share this video with anyone you think it might benefit. Where in the world are you watching from right now? I see New Jersey. I see Australia. Where are you guys at right now in the world?
Adelaide.
Jersey.
Belvedere, Tennessee.
Oh,
Why are
Belvedere.
there ads on this?
I've not heard.
I'm logged in as you.
I've not heard of Belvedere, Tennessee. I don't know where that is. Kentucky, Cape Cod.
Oh my.
Missouri, Texas,
Woo.
Alabama. Absolutely. I love it. We're going to try to answer as many questions as we can tonight. We get a bunch, but we're going to try to answer all that we can. So try to keep your questions short and succinct and pithy, but don't be truculent. And we will answer as many as we possibly can.
We want to give a big shout out to Judith from Ketovore the Soul. She put together an amazing event we went to in Memphis on Saturday. It was called Keto Friendsgiving.
Yes.
And we had dinner and we listened to people's stories, and it was awesome and amazing. So
yeah,
we're glad we got to go to that.
You know, I love to hear people's stories of how they shut up, stood up, took charge of their health, and said, you know what, I'm just going to do this myself. And we heard some amazing stories there.
Yeah, we never go to these things with the ones that are like small and intimate where we're really like interacting with people, which we kind of prefer those as opposed to the huge conventions. We never go to these things and end up not crying. We're crying at some point, maybe many points, and this was no exception.
Yeah,
definitely cried.
I don't think there was a dry eye in the house after a couple of those stories. Yeah. The power of the human will when you say, that's it, damn it, that's enough. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. When you put your foot down and say, that's it, I don't care who thinks what, I'm going to fix my health. That's a very powerful thing to do. It's scary, no doubt, but man, the benefits come quickly when you start a proper human diet with some intermittent fasting.
Yeah, but it's I don't even know how to explain it. When someone says how they were literally on death's door and got their life back just by simply changing how they ate. So it's amazing. And to be a part of their stories is humbling.
It's humbling, and it's what we both, that's what we
want to do.
That's what we work for. It's what we live for, is to help you regain the health that you never thought you'd have again. That's why we're here.
It's what keeps us going, hearing those stories. So always share your story.
Absolutely. All right, let's do some questions. What do you say?
Yen. Hey, Yen. Been ketovore for 5 months. No processed foods. Taking vitamin D levels are at 67 without supplements.
Beautiful.
Would it be necessary to take prenatals before and during pregnancy?
Probably to keep your doctor happy and comfortable. A prenatal vitamin is not going to hurt you in any way. Make sure you get one with folate instead of folic acid. But I think it's fine to take a prenatal. Although I get your implication. Do I even need that? Eating a proper human diet, perhaps not, but go ahead and take it just to make your doctor happy.
ATG, any suggestions for diet when working swing shift?
Yeah, you've got to eat as low carb as you possibly can. You need to eat in a 6 or 8 hour feasting window. But your feasting window may not be at the same time of day that people working day shift. Their feasting window, their time may be different from yours. But you got to pick one. Even if you're on swing shift, it can swing, and it's definitely not healthy to work night shift or swing shift. It's less healthy than working day shift. Let's put it that way. But you can make it way, way less unhealthy by eating a proper human diet and having a 16 or 18 hour fasting window as often as you can.
Tammy, I've been making lard all day from pigs that we butchered.
That's the way to do it.
Good job, Tammy.
That's the way to do it.
Derek says, is HGH spray harmful for type 2 diabetic? I'm 43 years old and trying to get in better shape with PhD, and I've heard mixed things.
If you're eating a proper human diet and you're intermittent fasting every day, then HGH spray, if you've been diagnosed and it was prescribed by your doctor, then it's perfectly safe and fine.
Mary, we do have a Butcher Box coupon. I think it's in the link.
There may be a link down in the show notes on this video.
Is.
If not, it's on some of my other YouTube videos.
Hey, Kevin. Kevin, PhD mentor in the house.
Hey, Kevin.
Ryan.
Tell us a joke, Kevin.
GF, girlfriend, got keto rash, eating beef, bacon, ghee, steak, and shrimp.
Yeah, eating real human food doesn't cause a rash. She may have had some oxalate dumping, or it may just be a coincidental rash that popped up when she started this. If the rash is gone in a few days, then it is of no concern. If it's there in a few days, then go see your doctor.
Sternitus says, I wish I would address exercise more. We do talk about it quite often, but there are many people more suited to talk about it than us. We mostly get questions about other things.
Our point is that exercise is not the first step. That is not the first thing to focus all of your attention on and spend all your money on. The very most important step to reclaim your health is to fix your diet. And I don't want people who are morbidly obese and have terrible type 2 diabetes, I don't want them to be trying to split their effort and split their motivation and their willpower between fixing their diet and exercise. Focus on nothing but your diet for the first 3 to 6 months. Exercise is very important. I just posted a video about exercise over 40 on this channel that you can watch as soon as this is over. But you've got to focus all your energy, especially if you've been a sugar addict, a carb addict for decades. You need all your motivation in the kitchen and when you're sitting down to eat food.
Molly, can you help me overcome a red meat aversion? I used to love it, and I cannot stomach it anymore on keto.
I'd just give your body a break, Molly. Eat lots of seafood, eat eggs, eat poultry with the skin on and the bone in. I think that when you've kept yourself from eating red meat for long enough, your body will naturally start to miss it, and then you'll develop a taste for it again.
Your childbearing age, it could be that you're pregnant. Not that you are, but that happened to me.
Yep.
Michelle, been carnivore 6 months. HDL is way up. Triglycerides are way down. A1C went from 6.1 to 5.5.
Beautiful.
Good job. Question, doctor says my shoulder impingement will require cortisone shots. Are there any alternatives?
If you have adhesive capsulitis or frozen shoulder, which is a little bit different from shoulder impingement, sometimes the only thing that will fix impingement is getting rid of the inflammation and then plus or minus a minor surgical procedure. But if you have frozen shoulder or adhesive capsulitis, you can absolutely break that loose. And then even some of the pinches that you can get in the shoulder joint, you can break those loose by getting rid of the inflammation, by eating a proper human diet, and then doing some physical therapy exercises that a physical therapist can show you how to do. There's actually lots of YouTube videos about how to break loose a shoulder like that without surgery or steroid injections. Now, the steroid injection will decrease the pain temporarily, but it in no way addresses the underlying root cause.
Shiloh, New Mexico, down 76 pounds and maintained 120 pounds for a year.
That's beautiful. That's the way to do it.
Shiloh.
And I know that you're starting to teach your friends and family how to do this because I know they've been asking questions.
Hey, Crown of Curls, welcome back. Pancreatitis and IBS. Any suggestions to heal specifically pancreatitis? My body rejects most vegetables. Yeah,
if you're having an ongoing acute attack of pancreatitis, you probably need to be fasting. Definitely see your doctor if your pancreatic enzymes are elevated, and follow their recommendations. Pancreatitis, if inadequately treated, can be fatal. So if you truly have pancreatitis, go see your doctor right now.
Thank you, Maureen. Thank you, Holly. Katie Blue, daughter has fatty bumps under her skin. Doctor says the only way to get rid of them is surgery. Would keto get rid of them?
Well, I don't know for sure, Katie Blue. Yeah, I don't know for sure, but I do know that thousands of people have had their lipomas, which are fatty tumors under the skin, shrink and get much, much smaller or go completely away when they start eating a ketovore, carnivore diet. We've seen other skin conditions improve markedly. And so I would give it 3 months of a proper human diet. And then if they're getting bigger, definitely let the doctor take one out and send it to pathology to find out exactly what it is. If it turns out they're lipomas, then they're not dangerous at all. And they're going to shrink over time unless you're eating an inflammatory diet.
Hey, Mitzi Champion in the house. Chris, I have both cod liver and liver pate, and I'm terrified of both. Which should I try first? I would try the liver pate first.
Yeah. Try the liver pate. You can scoop it up with a meat skin. It's freaking delicious. And then the cod liver, I would mix it with something. Or you can puree it and put it in a meat stew or in bone broth, and you'll barely be able to taste it, but you'll get all the amazing nutrition.
Jamie, I lost my mom to Huntington's in 2012. I don't know if I have it and don't want to take the test to find out.
Yep.
Will keto carnivore help with Huntington?
Keto carnivore and intermittent fasting are going to decrease your chances of having the symptoms of Huntington. Now, Huntington's is definitely genetically transmitted. And so I understand completely that you don't want to know, because why would you want to know that you have that? But I'm telling you that your odds of having symptoms of Huntington's, of Alzheimer's, dementia, of Parkinson's decrease drastically when you're eating a proper human diet.
Thank you, Ritesh. All right. Kevin, I think, told a joke.
Oh, gosh. Is it worth reading? Can you find it? I can't see it.
Butter is for steak. Hey, you two, strict triple BE, 2 weeks, no weight loss, no measurement loss. Is that normal? What am I doing wrong? Thanks for all you do.
You're not doing anything wrong except being impatient. Right? So 2 weeks, especially for some of us who have been metabolically sick for decades, not much is going to happen in 2 weeks. Okay. Your body's healing, and behind the scenes, you got to give it time. Trust the proper human diet and trust your body, and keep doing what you know to be right. And before long, the numbers will start changing in a positive way.
Thank you, Brett. Where did it go? I lost it. Matt. Hey, Matt. Thank you both for doing these chats and for your advice and sincerity. Thanks for being here, Matt. Serena. 1 month triple BE, lost 5 pounds, and my BMR went up to 600. According to my smart scale, visceral fat went down a couple of points. Things are definitely changing.
Beautiful.
Congratulations,
beautiful.
Serena.
I love it.
Sherry, welcome back. You mentioned Benadryl for sleep can cause brain issues. Would Phenergan cause this too? Thanks for all your help.
Yeah, Phenergan is an antihistamine in the same rough drug class as the others. Phenergan's fine to take occasionally for rare nausea. Phenergan will make you sleepy, but I definitely would not take Phenergan or any other drug like promethazine in that drug class nightly for sleep, especially if you're over the age of 40.
Hey, Susan, thank you. Craig from Georgia. Carnivore for 3 months, 25 pounds down. What is the best form of magnesium to take for fat loss?
So taking magnesium is not really going to help you lose any fat, but magnesium is very important for hundreds of other body functions. If you tend to be constipated, then take magnesium citrate. It'll help with all the things that magnesium help with, and help with the bathroom issues as well. If you tend to have loose bowel movements, then stick with magnesium glycinate or magnesium malate. They have fewer gut symptoms.
Brent, Dr. Berry, what's the best remedy for viral gastroenteritis in terms of proper human diet food options? I've been ill for 3 days with diarrhea.
I would fast as much as I possibly could. I would make some really good, legit bone broth from bones that you have in your house, and some meat stock, and I would sip on that. And otherwise, I would fast until the virus is gone. Fasting helps fight off any virus. Don't forget that. There's a reason that your grandmother used to say, starve a cold.
Anna, I have over 100 pounds to lose. I tried Carnivore and Ketovore for 2 weeks and lost weight, but got very sick after meals and was vomiting. I've never gotten sick from meat and eggs before, so I'm wondering if I'm allergic to the ghee that I used.
Unless there's some additive in the ghee, I doubt very seriously you're allergic to that. More than likely what's going on, Anna, is that you were previously eating a high carbohydrate diet, and so you could never hear your body's satiation signals telling you you're full. And this almost always happens in women. When you start eating a meat-heavy diet, when you do get satiated, your body can misinterpret that as nausea. And you can have that for a few days or a few weeks until your body goes, oh no, that's just my satiety signal telling me I'm full. I'm not really nauseated. I think this will go away after another few days or few weeks.
She was actually vomiting. So.
Gotcha. You might have an undiagnosed gallbladder issue. You might have a dysfunctional gallbladder, which will get better with a proper human diet. You might have gallbladder sludge, which will get better with a proper human diet. Now, if you're having severe right upper quadrant pain after a fatty meal, then you might need to see your doctor. You might have a gallstone that's trying to get stuck in your cystic duct.
Valerie, I'm keto, but mostly carnivore since February. Not losing. Increase in exercise. Macros 90, fat 90 protein, less than 20 carbs. Recommend an increase in protein.
You can try it either way, Valerie. You can increase your fat, or you can try that for a month, or you could increase your protein and try that for a month. Neisha and I have found that different people respond differently to different macro adjustments. What I would definitely do is keep the carbs less than 20 total grams of carbs a day. In our experience, we see people lose fat faster eating a higher fat keto. But if you want to try a month or two of higher protein, I think that's fine too.
Marvin, my last blood work showed my triglycerides at 66, HDL at 40, and A1C at 5.5 from previous 5.7, LDL of 133, and risk ratio of 3.3.
Beautiful. You got a little work to do on the HDL, but all your other numbers are looking splendiferous. Oh, Kevin, I found his joke.
Oh, did you?
A man walks into a doctor's office and says, I'm shrinking. The doc says, sir, you should get better, but for now, you're going to have to be a little patient. What do you guys think? Is that a dad joke or was that funny?
Adventurous Oklahoman. Prior to starting carnivore, triglycerides were 74. I've been eating carnivore since January. My recent test had triglycerides at 164. Could this be due to a 16-hour fast prior to my test?
Yeah, try to fast no longer than 14 hours before your lab draw. And then also you might need to bump the fat up and bump the protein macro down a little bit. You may just be a little bit too much protein for you.
Sharon has been having joint pain the last few weeks. Is this because of diet?
It could be, depending on which diet you're eating. There are hundreds of things that can cause joint pain. So it's hard to know without knowing what diet you were eating. But if you were not eating a proper human diet, then your diet definitely has at least some degree of the blame for your joint pain. I'm going to find one while you look.
Go for it.
I clicked the button and nothing happened.
Mm-hmm.
How do I get more fat? Miss Penny says. You eat more fat. You
just add it into
put butter on top. Fried in bacon grease, eat more egg yolks and less egg whites. That's how you get more fat. It's easy and it's tasty.
Mark, if carb withdrawals involve diarrhea, can something like Low-Carb be used, or is that all down to getting electrolytes right?
It is to a certain degree getting your electrolytes right, but loperamide for a day or two is not a big deal. But again, that's in a drug class. You don't want to be taking that long term.
Baron, I've been on Carnivore, Ketovore for about a month and a half. I've lost 30 pounds,
Beautiful.
But the loose stool diarrhea has not stopped. Do you have any suggestions?
Yeah, you might want to try a month of a good quality probiotic. Some people find that helps a lot. Other people can't really tell it helps at all. If you're continuing to have diarrhea and it's been longer than a month, you might want to go see your doc and make sure that you don't have an undiagnosed parasitical infection or an undiagnosed yeast infection or an undiagnosed viral infection. Sometimes starting your diet can be coincidental with other things going on in the background.
Mr. John, I'm 62, average weight, and in good health. I've been keto a couple of months. I've been taking systemic and digestive enzymes. Is this a waste of money?
Maybe. And the way to know is to just stop taking them. And then if you notice any gut symptoms, then you can go back to taking those.
Jerry, can red or processed meat cause fibroids to grow? My wife has been Ketovore for 6 months. She's lost 45 pounds. Could the weight loss cause a drop in estrogen, making her fibroids larger?
No. I actually have a video on this channel about fibroids. People invariably notice that their fibroids get smaller when they're eating keto, ketovore, carnivore. Now, if you lost a lot of weight, it can make your fibroids appear bigger. Think about that. But I think that if she has a repeat ultrasound where the doctor actually measures the fibroids, you'll find that they're smaller than they were.
Granny Berry, are you watching Granny Berry?
I think she is.
Everybody say hey to Granny Berry.
Granny Berry. She's 91 years old. I called her 92 one time, and she corrected me very quickly. She said she's not that old. She's down in Alabama with my dad, hanging out, watching the YouTube machine.
Down in Alabama and up to no good.
That's it right there. That is true.
Terry,
down 2 crazy ketos in the house.
Down 100 pounds in a year and a half on keto carnivore. 100 more to go. Changed intermittent fasting OMAD to 16-8 and 2 to 3 meals. 30 days in, 5 inches down on waist and hips. 1-to-1 ratio is working great.
I love it.
Good job, Jerry.
Less than 10 total carbs a day. That's it. And just keep doing that.
Well done.
Just set it on repeat.
Jenny, 57-year-old male, type 2 diabetic, not overweight. Can doing carnivore keto get him off of his type 2 diabetes medication?
Yep. Jenny, both your husband and anybody else with pre-diabetes, type 2 diabetes, or metabolic syndrome can completely reverse those syndromes by eating a proper human diet. 100%, yes.
Charles, welcome back. I've noticed 2 small skin tags, one around my collarbone and one between my jewels and upper leg. Can this be due to too many carbs or sugar?
Yeah, I actually have a skin tag video on this channel that will explain. It's got links to all the research in the show notes, but skin tags are intimately linked with hyperinsulinemia. And when you correct the hyperinsulinemia, your skin tags are going to for sure get smaller, but in many, many cases, they go completely away. I used to have multiple skin tags on my eyelids, and Neisha used to make fun of me. And now I think, are they all?
Not make fun of
you.
You
laughed and called me names. Are they all gone now, or do I still have one small one?
One little one.
One little one. And I used to have 10, 6, 10. Yeah, I had a bunch. So they're definitely going to get smaller, if not go completely away.
Marcia, this is a good question, especially with Thanksgiving coming up. Is ham okay as long as it's not honey baked ham?
Yeah, as long as it's 0 carb ham and you don't trim the fat, then it's much better than eating Doritos or sweet potato casserole.
David. Hey, this is David from New York.
Hey, David.
Should we be concerned with the mercury content in tuna?
Yeah, there's actually a study a few years back that showed that the cheap tuna in the can actually has a lower mercury content than the big, beautiful tuna you might buy in some upscale grocery store. We tend to stick with sardines and anchovies because these smaller fish don't eat enough other fish to build up the mercury toxicity. It's the big, huge carnivore fish that are eating hundreds and thousands of little fish. That's how the mercury and the other toxins build up. So usually the tuna in the can is a smaller tuna, and the tuna you buy that's really beautiful and they just lay it out for you, that's usually from a humongous tuna that's eaten thousands of other fish.
Brian, thank you so much.
Thanks, Brian.
All right, let's see. Melissa, how to keep milk supply when transitioning to carnivore? Baby is 8 weeks. Tried to get back to carnivore and started to lose supply, not eating enough. Do you think I'm not eating enough? It's probably, no, it's not that. It's because if you weren't carnivore during your pregnancy and you're going straight to carnivore, you are stressing your body out. Any sort of stress will decrease your milk supply, be it diet change or external factors. So do it slowly and just crank the carbs down 50, 20 per week or something like that till you're back to carnivore. Get your salt intake and your electrolyte intake. That's very important, especially the salt. Lots of skin to skin with the baby. Don't try to rush it. There's no rush. All right. And then you could be not eating enough, but I seriously doubt it because your appetite is probably amazing while you're breastfeeding. So.
Eat till you're full. 99.99% of Dr. Berry's subscribers say that Granny Berry is the bomb. Hey, Granny Berry.
Jeff, my calcium was 10.7, then 10.2 on the last 2 labs. Anything about carnivore that might cause this? I do take D3 K2 supplement.
Yeah, so your calcium went down, and it's closer to normal now. So it may very well be that the diet is correcting that. But if you have elevated calcium, any of you guys listening, you need to absolutely make sure your doctor checks out your parathyroid gland with an intact PTH lab and an ionized calcium lab. So if any of you guys have a calcium that's even 1/10 of a point high, you've got to convince your doctor to check your parathyroid glands thoroughly, because it's very often missed, and it's a big deal if you miss it for a few years.
Zena has myasthenia gravis. Can she do keto?
100% can do keto. We've actually had several people with MG reach out and tell us that when they're eating very clean, strict keto, one ingredient, no bullshit keto cakes and pies and cookies, but real food, that their MG symptoms lessen substantially. Now, you're still going to have it, but wouldn't it be nice if you were able to cut your symptoms down by 75%?
Miss Betty, I've developed high blood pressure in July. Salt, sugar affect my BP. Also, sitting more than 2 hours without moving will make it go up. I've been keto 3 months. What are your suggestions?
My suggestion, Miss Betty, would be to cut your total carbs down to under 20 total grams a day. And when you get there, after a few weeks, it doesn't matter how much salt you eat. Your salt's not going to make your blood pressure go up. But eating too many carbs will cause your insulin to spike, and that will definitely make you retain fluid and make your blood pressure go up. If you have to sit for a couple of hours, even if you just can stand up for 10 seconds and do 10 toe raises where you go up on your tiptoes and back down, just that little 10-second break, and then sit back down and get back to work. I don't want you to get written up, get in trouble. But that one little break every 15 minutes or so is going to get all the hormones going and help keep your blood pressure lower.
Remy wants to know, are canned smoked oysters okay?
Yeah, read the ingredients. Make sure there's no added sugar, but otherwise, oh, yes. No, Ambien is not okay. Ambien is okay if your dog, your cat, and your mama all die at the same time, and you need something to help you get to sleep for 2 or 3 nights. That's all Ambien or Lunesta or any of the sleeping medicines. They were all intended for short-term use. So if any of you guys, your doctor's got you on Ambien or Lunesta or any of the sleeping pills long-term, especially if it's a benzodiazepine, that's entirely inappropriate. That's a big problem for you, and you need to talk to your doctor immediately to help you start weaning off that.
Oh, Randy, my cholesterol increased to 224, non-HDL 181, HDL 43, LDL 177. Should I be concerned about my cholesterol? Triglycerides went down from 228 to 87, and my A1C went down from 5.7 to 5.3.
So having a high A1C and high triglycerides is like having a shotgun pointed at your heart. Having high total cholesterol and high LDL is like having a BB gun pointed at your heart. So every day of the week, I would take the BB gun over the shotgun. You're doing exactly what you need to do. Don't worry so much about your LDL cholesterol being elevated. I've got multiple videos on this channel to help you understand why that's not that big of a deal.
Raw, do small daily doses of benzodiazepines like Xanax prescribed for anxiety affect weight loss? Been on keto for 3 weeks and no weight loss.
Yeah, they absolutely slow down your weight loss. You're also addicted to it. If you're taking it daily, you do have some degree of habituation. You need to talk to your doctor about getting you slowly weaned off that. You probably won't be able to stop that cold turkey. That's very habit forming.
Stockton guy, 2002, down 47 pounds. Boom. Fasting blood sugar down to 90 from 125. Good job. BP down to normal. I want to get off statins. What test do I ask for? My PCP is not keto friendly.
So you're going to ask for a hemoglobin A1C. You're going to ask for a C-peptide. You're going to ask for a fasting insulin. And you're going to ask for triglycerides and HDL cholesterol. And if any of you guys want to write those down, you can go back and watch this again after you get your pencil. And so your doctor is going to want to focus on your total cholesterol and your LDL cholesterol. But then you're going to say, but doctor, isn't it a fact that the fact that I have improved all these other markers, doesn't that protect me more from heart attack than LDL going up actually increases my risk of heart attack? Why don't you look that up? And I'm going to come see you in 3 months, and I'm going to ask you that question again. And when most doctors start looking into this, they're like, oh, crap, this guy lowered his A1C and his triglycerides. That's actually a huge reduction in heart attack risk. And if his LDL went up a little bit, that's actually just a tiny little risk. So I would much rather have the BB gun pointed at me than the shotgun, wouldn't you?
Thank you, Tammy. Oops, lost my spot.
Careful now, careful.
RJ, I got a 7-pound tub of bacon grease from Buc-ee's, and they add BHA. Is that bad?
BHA, yeah, that's not great. It's probably not the end of the world. I'd hate for you to waste 7 pounds of lard, but try to get it without that in the future for sure.
Jason, starting weight for keto and OMAD was 265. I've dropped 25 pounds in 33 days. I'm 6'2", feeling great, never hungry. Is that too much weight too fast?
No, it's not. And that's one of the beautiful things that I love about a keto, ketovore, carnivore diet and intermittent fasting is they're never going to make you lose weight in an unhealthy way. If you're honoring your hunger, so you're eating when you actually get hungry, and you're honoring your satiety, so you're eating until you're completely stuffed, then you stop eating. If you follow that pattern, you're never going to lose weight so fast that it's unhealthy. That's not possible if you're eating real human food. Now, if you're calorie restricting or taking phentermine or something like that, you can definitely lose weight in an unhealthy speed.
Sheena's Keto Homestead. I was on 13 medications at one point, and now I'm on 0, and I let my pain doctor go today.
That's so awesome, Sheena. Everybody give her a thumbs up right now. And that's a great lesson. So much chronic pain, so much fibromyalgia, so much chronic fatigue syndrome that we think it's just permanent. I'm stuck with this for life. When you start eating a proper human diet, you're going to be surprised at how much better that chronic pain you used to think was permanent. It's not really permanent. You can improve it drastically.
Jenny, Dr. Berry, do you do Zoom appointments for people who do not live near you? How do we set up an appointment with you?
Yeah, Neisha's working on this.
Well,
having a dedicated platform for that. But currently what I'm doing is I do a Zoom meeting once a week on Patreon.
It's not medical advice. He's not your doctor.
That's right. I'm not your doctor, but I can answer your questions. If you become a vital patron on patreon.com, then I can answer your questions on a Zoom once a week. But we're trying to set up a platform where I can, if you've ever seen me in the office before, I actually can be your doctor remotely, virtually. Or I can just give you health coaching advice if I've never seen you as a patient. Yeah.
It's not anytime soon. So
it's coming.
Don't get too excited.
Within the next 1 to 15 months.
Probably the 15 months. Do you see one over there?
Yeah, I saw a good one. Blitz 360 says, I use melatonin. Is that bad for sleep medicine? No, melatonin's fine. Even melatonin, I wouldn't take too many milligrams. Just take the lowest milligram amount that gets you a good, decent night's sleep. The things you want to really avoid are any of the over-the-counter sleeping medicines like Tylenol PM, Advil PM, Aleve PM, Z-Quil. What are those?
Basically, all of those things.
Any of them that have diphenhydramine.
In the Benadryl area.
Yeah, Benadryl.
If it says sleep aid on it, usually it's not good.
I've got a video on this channel that explains it in more detail, but those things actually increase your risk of dementia, and they're no bueno. You don't want to take those every night for sleep.
Valerian root is excellent. It smells awful, but I'm telling you.
Does it smell like butthole?
Bad. It's bad. But if you are somebody who's needing some good quality sleep, it's what I would recommend. It's an herb. Nicole says, my mother-in-law has been doing keto for 2 years and just ended up in the doctor's office. After doing many labs, she has ketoacidosis and NAFLD. Can she continue on keto? Yeah,
she doesn't have ketoacidosis unless she's a type 1 diabetic and didn't know it. Either the doctor misdiagnosed her or she misheard. I would have to see her labs to know exactly what's going on with her. She probably had ketones in her urine and which that means you're in ketosis. It doesn't mean you have ketoacidosis. Her doctor probably forgot his book learning and freaked out and scared your mom. That's probably what happened.
You get one?
What are your thoughts on drinking a quality kombucha on keto? Angel, well, if you make it yourself and you know it's sugar-free, I think it's fine. I do not believe in the magic, the mystical magic of kombucha or any of the other. Yeah, it's tasty. I like it, but don't think that you're going to be getting any miraculous benefits from it. It's just a tasty, fizzy drink, but make sure it's sugar-free. Yes, William Nichols, questions from this chat, they get answered as quickly as we can answer them. Thanks for the question.
You can see there's 2,300 people watching, and all of them are asking questions. Scott says, I still have reflux symptoms. I'm on Carnivore. Any more suggestions? Yeah,
go see your doctor. You may have an undiagnosed hiatal hernia. You may have an incompetent sphincter at the bottom of, hey, I didn't do that when I said
Well, you did now.
Oh, damn, yeah. At the bottom of your esophagus, there's multiple reasons why you might still be having reflux symptoms. Don't forget, for some people, caffeine, nicotine, and alcohol can cause horrendous reflux, which goes away completely when you stop those three things. So don't forget that as well.
Susan, C-peptide dropped from 4.5 to 2.8, but A1C went from 5.3 to 5.5 in 6 months. What does this mean?
Yeah, that means that you're slowly but surely getting better. Okay.
Yeah, that's still a really good A1C.
Yeah, those are great numbers. Don't worry about it.
Tammy, thank you for the very big super chat.
Oh, wow, Tammy. Thank you.
Over the last year, my son has started getting very sick after eating ground beef, but doesn't have a problem eating other forms of red meat. Any thoughts? It may
be a texture thing. I don't know. What do you think? I mean, if he can eat like a ribeye, but he can't eat ground beef, then, in many cases, ground beef is just ground up ribeye and sirloin and chuck and stuff. So it doesn't make sense unless it's a texture thing or I don't know. Maybe try another company to get the ground beef from. Maybe their cleanliness practices aren't great. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, I would have to know how many times he's
I can't think of any physiological reason why ground beef would affect him negatively, but other forms of cuts of beef would not.
Yeah. Petra, can you explain the risk of remnant cholesterol? Other markers are normal except for remnant.
So here's a good one for you. If your A1C is normal and your C-peptide and your triglycerides and your HDL, then I don't really care what your remnant cholesterol is. Focus on the 80%. Focus on the important things and let your body take care of everything else.
SJ, you can watch every Monday Night Live. All you have to do is go to Dr. Berry's channel and just scroll back until you see the previous week. Yep. I think it's on a playlist. Do you have our lives on a playlist?
There are interviews and discussions.
Okay.
All the lives are on that playlist.
So they're on a playlist as well.
Yep.
But they're always on replay. You can always watch them after the fact.
TR French said that they had to start pounding the hamburger thinner on the edges and cook it more well done. So you might try that. That's weird about the ground beef. Jane says she's the same way with ground beef. She can't eat it, but she can eat ribeye porterhouse all day long.
Huh.
Yeah. And you can tell any butcher or any grocery store that you want ground ribeye, and they're going to charge you for that, of course, but they'll grind up ribeye and make it into ground beef for you. It's freaking delicious, but most people would rather eat it the old fashioned way. Hey, Tamara.
Rob says, my wife's been a nurse for almost 15 years, diagnosed with osteoarthritis in her knee and slight torn ligament in her other knee. What can be done to help her? I'm the chef of the house.
You need to start watching either my Keto 101 playlist or my Carnivore 101 playlist and start cooking for her just like I talk about. There's just a set of principles. Once you understand them, you're not going to make any mistakes. And then if she has a torn ligament, she might need to go see the orthopedist and see what's going on with that.
I would say she need focus on bone broth, real bone broth, make her homemade bone broth, the kind that has the thick gelatin on top, get lots of good collagen. Yep. That's really important.
Yep. And another great way to just effortlessly get all the collagen building blocks is to eat sardines with the bones in. Just crunch them up and eat them. They're tasty.
Or anchovies.
or anchovies. That's right, because they have the bones in there, and you're eating not only the bones, but you're eating all the cartilage and all the connective tissue. That stuff is the cornucopia of collagen building blocks.
Thank you, Arbin.
Thank you, Carl. We will do that. Hey, T. Jones, how's it going?
Sylvie says, I've heard histamine can be an issue in ground beef, but not in steak. You
Maybe.
heard that?
No, I haven't heard that. I'll look into that. Maybe it's a histamine response, because that can definitely make you throw up. Let's see. Blitz 360 said, Dr. Berry, thank you for saving my life. I don't think I would have made it through last year if it wasn't for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, thank you very much, Blitz. KD Blue says, Neisha, your hair looks so pretty.
Thank y'all.
I agree.
Thank y'all.
I agree.
That's so interesting. Several of you are saying the same thing. That ground beef you cannot eat, but steak you're fine with.
Yeah, I've never heard that. I'll look it up immediately.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Heather's the same way. Wow, that's so weird. How have I not heard of this?
That's strange. Sylvie, I have white coating on my tongue. Eating carnivore or ketovore with nuts and dairy. Is this oral thrush? Do I need to give up cheese?
No, if you have oral thrush, your tongue is going to be sensitive and tender. It's going to hurt. Okay, just having a light white coating on your tongue doesn't mean anything bad. If you have thrush, you're going to know it, because when you touch your tongue, it's going to hurt. Thrush is not fun.
Linda, HCC, PBC, liver disease, nephrolithiasis,
non-functional right kidney, hypothyroid, HPB, testing for PCOS, conflicting dietary guidelines, liver and kidney disease. You need to eat a proper human diet. I didn't see a question in there, but you need to eat real human food that humans have been eating for at least 20,000 years. That doesn't include any sugar. It doesn't include any grains. It definitely doesn't include any vegetable seed oils like canola oil and soybean oil. You need to eat animal fat, animal protein, a little bit of veg, a few berries, and that's it. If it has an ingredient list on the box, you don't need to eat that.
Karen says, if I get a nighttime cramp, I flex my abdominal muscles and it goes right away. I've told others and it worked for many. I want to shout it out.
I heard this the other day. I just for the first time, I've never heard this before, but apparently if you have a leg cramp and you flex your abdominal muscles, the leg cramp goes away. Has this happened for anybody else? Karen she shot us a super chat just to shout it from the heavens.
I haven't had a cramp in a while, but next time that I do, I'm going
So like you mean like doing a crunch or a sit up, just like crunching your
what?
That makes me want to have a cramp tonight,
right?
so I can try
it.
it. Yeah, 100%. Thank you for that information.
Wow.
I mean, that'd be a great fix if that worked for everybody.
How interesting.
Mr. Z 1958, you want to get the fattiest ground beef you can find. 70-30 if you can find it, but if very often 80-20 is going to be the fattiest grind that you can find. 80-20 is fine, but ask your butcher if they'll do 70-30 for you.
Are you way back in the chat? Do you
I
need
have
to scroll
no idea
down?
where I'm at. I'm just grabbing questions.
No, you're good now.
Okay. Yeah. Synergy says now I want to leg cramp too. Yeah, I want to try it right now.
Thank you, Belinda.
Susan Gilbert, I have a video on this channel about leg cramps and everything you need to know about them. So if you have questions, stretch that out. Yeah, Scott, I usually just get up and stretch the muscle. But I'll tell you guys a funny story. One time when I just got my new chainsaw, I was out in the woods working 6-8 hours. And that night I had a cramp in the front of my calf. And so I pointed my toe to stretch it out, and then I got a cramp in my calf muscle. So I had a cramp in the front and the back of my leg at the same time, and I'm like, okay, Einstein, what do you do now? Because either way you go, you're cramping up a muscle. So I just had to get up and walk around, and it went away. I took a shot of mineral drops and walked around, and it went away.
You can't tell me nothing about muscle cramps. I had them my entire labor.
Yeah, you had a bunch. That's
during
for sure.
labor, fully dilated. Pushing a baby out. Arvin, hello, good friends. I am 375 pounds, play sports and lift. I need help losing fat. I'm currently eating lean protein and healthy fats and vegetables. Can I still do 5 meals versus OMAD to lose fat quickly?
5 meals a day versus OMAD. What is he asking me there? You need
Can he still eat keto and still do his 5 meals a day, or does he need to do OMAD?
Yeah, no, you can do keto in 5 meals a day. You're not going to get the weight loss as quickly.
Well, he's very active.
Yeah. So at 375, you've got some weight to lose, and you may be holding a lot of muscle and bone. You may be a big, thick fellow, but you still got some fat to lose. I would probably try to get it down to 3 meals a day and keep that in an 8-hour feasting window. And that way you're fasting 16 hours a day. That'd be, I think, a smart compromise for you to make between 5 meals and OMAD.
Uncle Guns, welcome back.
Hey, Uncle Guns.
2MAD, Triple BE, week 10 update. 28 pounds, knee pains still subsiding, eczema 90% gone, sleep is great, and PTSD is subsiding. Yep. Stay blessed.
Yeah. 2 things in that comment make me really happy. People don't realize that PTSD is intimately related to eating an inflammatory high carbohydrate diet. You still got the trauma and you still have the memories, and you're still going to have a touch of PTSD, but it can get so much better if you eat a proper human diet. And the second one is eczema and psoriasis. People with these conditions think, I just got to put on all these creams and take steroids and I'm screwed for life. That is not the case. Not the case at all. You can improve these things with a proper human diet that's full of fatty meat, plus or minus a little veg. Hey, Bart K.
would like to talk to you.
Oh, okay, brother. Yeah, shoot me an email and we'll talk. Absolutely. If you guys don't watch Bart K is one of the smartest individuals on YouTube. And I watch a lot of his videos. Bart has a particular style. Bart makes a sailor sound like a preacher. And if you understand me, then you understand me. But his information is very, very clear. I think he is as close to being spot on as anybody on YouTube. His information is absolutely pristine, but his delivery offends some people.
I find it refreshing.
Yeah. So do I.
What are your feelings on ground pork versus ground beef? Nicole wants to know.
Oh, if I had to eat ground pork, I would shoot myself. That's my personal feeling. Now, as Dr. Berry, I think that ground pork is going to be less good than ground beef because pigs are monogastric animals, which means they don't have the magic ruminant stomach of a cow. So that if they eat a lot of junk, it tends to be more likely to get deposited in the muscle and fat. Whereas a cow can pretty much just eat crap, corn and rice and oats and soybean, and they'll get fatty streaking in their muscle, but they're ruminant. All the bacteria in there tend to filter out a ton of that crap, and you're still left with very high quality meat. I would minimize the ground pork and stick to ground beef if possible.
Jane, I went in the past 10 weeks, my total cholesterol went from 267 to 203, A1C 6.1 to 5.9, triglycerides in the normal range,
Beautiful.
down 13 pounds, and I don't even know how many inches. Thank you both.
That's wonderful, Jane. Now you've got, congratulations, first of all, but you still got some work to do on that A1C. Do not be complacent. Do not be satisfied with that A1C. You deserve a normal hemoglobin A1C, just like everybody else watching this live.
Getting stuff done. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. And Granny Berry does rock.
Yes, Granny Berry rocks. Thank you.
All righty.
We're going to have to teach Granny Berry how to comment on these videos. That would be awesome.
So several people are coming to find you, Bart K. So just so you know.
Yeah, but Tulsi, ground pork and bacon are not the same thing. They're 2 completely different things, 2 different cuts. That's why.
Daria, the butchers may add vinegar to ground beef like they do to chicken and turkey. Yeah.
If any of you guys haven't tried beef heart, Boink 800 is absolutely right. Beef heart is freaking delicious. Boink 800. Is that what you laughed about?
No.
Or the beef heart?
No.
Oh, you saw a comment?
Carrie says you have to clean off the ground pork since it was on the ground.
Oh, okay. So Kevin disease is contagious now. We're all telling dad jokes tonight.
Funny.
Yeah, I agree. Who said that? John Bart K. He is amazingly intelligent. I just got to teach him. I got to teach him how to turn on his filter. How many people love beef heart? And how many people have tried chicken hearts and love them? If the only reason that you don't currently love chicken heart is because you have not tried it, it is freaking delicious. I'm thinking about just doing a YouTube video dedicated to people. You guys need to start eating chicken heart. There are millions of chicken hearts wasted every year in the United States. Just, I guess, ground up for dog food. They are amazing superfoods and they taste delicious. You need to start asking your butcher for chicken hearts. On a kebab. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Not a shish kebab, but a chicken heart kebab. Inside joke.
Yeah.
Marcia loves beef heart.
Deer hearts are great too.
Yes, they are. Yeah, we usually grind those in with ground beef and eat them. They're delish.
We're fixing to harvest some deer hearts here.
It's coming. It's coming. Jessa, chicken gizzards, they are nutritious, but they are not the superfood. They're basically just smooth muscle. And now I'll tell you what gizzards are a great source of is all the collagen building blocks. Just like eating sardines or making bone broth, chicken gizzards are full of connective tissue. And that's why when you eat them, they're very chewy and kind of gristly if you don't cook them right. That's the connective tissue that your body's going to use to make new cartilage and make new ligaments and make new connective tissue out of. Yeah, they're great in that respect, but they don't have all the vitamins and minerals like beef heart or liver.
I thought you made this where only subscribers could comment.
I thought I did.
Well, you had some gross comments.
Oh, they're gross?
Yeah.
Well, Kevin and Mitzi will take care of them.
I took care of that one.
Oh, thank you.
Maria, my triglycerides went from 27 to 44 after keto, mostly carnivore. Any reason for them to increase?
You're eating too many carbs somewhere, Maria. Just because you're eating keto or carnivore, a lot of people they think, oh, this sauce is probably fine, this rub, this condiment. You got to read all the ingredients. You're getting some carbs from somewhere.
Can you fry chicken hearts and pork panko? Yes, but you don't need to.
Right.
Chicken livers are good to be fried. Chicken hearts are much tastier, and you don't really need that distraction of the breading. Like I would never bread a heart.
Just put them on the grill.
Char them, get them smoky. That's how it's done. You season them up.
Yep. Carmela says, how many times a week should I eat liver? Once or twice a week. I would say at a minimum. If you want to eat liver every day, it's totally fine.
Neisha, can you freeze your keto cornbread? Amy, I'm pretty sure I've had some people tell me that they did. Now, I know several people did my cornbread dressing and put it in the freezer for Thanksgiving last year, and I think it turned out fine. By the way, if you guys want a really amazing keto cornbread dressing recipe, go to my blog, type in the little search bar, keto dressing. Some people call it stuffing. I don't. I call it dressing.
I used to call it stuffing. Then I grew up and got a college degree. Now I call it dressing.
Yeah, whatever. Whatever you call it, I think it's amazing. A lot of people think it's amazing. A lot of people think it's good. They used it last year. They're using it this year.
We've heard a ton of good
I got good feedback.
Yeah,
it's
one
of
crazy,
my best
crazy
recipes.
amount of feedback. Yeah.
It's also on YouTube, actually. You can look it up, and the blog post is linked in the description of that video. So if you just put in Neisha Thanksgiving dressing recipe, it should pop that video up.
Yeah, it's delicious. You should try it. I got two over here. Andrea says, I supplement with collagen powder. I heard humans can't digest that. Is that true? Yeah, humans can digest it, but there's no reason to waste money on a collagen powder. Just eat your sardines with the bones in, make your bone broth, eat your chicken gizzards, get collagen building blocks from real food. There's no reason to buy some powdered protein that comes from a factory. Eat real food. And then Evelyn said, what do you think of blood sausage for keto? I think if blood sausage is sugar-free, it's freaking amazing for keto. 100%. One of the reasons we don't get as many electrolytes in the modern diet is because we don't incorporate blood as much in our diets. Blood is a electrolyte superfood. Okay, and it sounds kind of gross. If you're not used to eating it, I don't blame you if you don't want blood sausage. But we tried it in London.
Yeah, it was good.
It's
you can taste the blood. I mean, you can.
It's a win though. With spices, it's freaking delicious. I would eat it every day if we had access. Every day.
With a Guinness.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm not with a Guinness, but I would dream about the Guinness while I eat the blood sausage.
What's the London brand
of
beer?
I forgot.
Starts with an F. I can't remember. I'm sure someone in the comments knows. Did you get Viva?
No, you get Viva. Viva
Hi, love you, missed you guys. Glad you're back this week. Had a bad few weeks this summer and gained some weight back. I can't seem to lose it again. Doing what I was doing before. What could be wrong?
Nothing's wrong. It seems like for most people that the first time you do keto, ketovore, carnivore, it's almost like your body gives you a get out of jail free card. Like it really works. And then if you fall off the wagon and you regain some weight, first of all, you don't have as much weight to lose as you did to start with. Damn, you're pretty. I'm just looking at you in the monitor. You're making me lose my train of thought. But the second time, you don't have as much weight to lose, so you're not going to lose weight as fast. And then it seems for some people like their body's just like, you had your chance. Now you're going to have to work for it. But just keep in mind, you're gleaning hundreds of physiological health benefits by eating a proper human diet. I hear Becky Berry.
Hello.
Yeah, Mike, Bass Ale tastes delicious, but if I drank Bass Ale regularly, I would have a gut. Hey, you boy. I'm going to get your belly. I'm going to get it again. Let's see what we got here. Boink 800, we've had chicken feet before. We love to put chicken feet, if properly cleaned, in our bone broth. But some people freaking love to eat them. I can't just eat them.
No.
He's very shy. Very shy. Viva Geste said, hi, Beckett. Jamie said, hi, Beckett. Synergy said, hi from Central Florida to Granny Berry.
You smell. What did you eat? Strawberries. Okay.
You ate some strawberries? Yeah. I see it on your cheek right there. Let's see. JC says, why do I still suffer sometimes from subclinical hypoglycemia? I've been clean keto and intermittent fasting since June. My A1C is 4.7. I've lost 32 pounds. I keep my carbohydrates under 20. JC, have you actually checked your blood sugar and found it to be under 60? Because what I found with some people who used to suffer from severe reactive hypoglycemia is that they still get that feeling of low blood sugar, even on keto or ketovore. But then when they check their blood sugar, it's like, no, it's fine. I don't know why I'm feeling that. It takes a while for that feeling to go away. So I want you to just keep doing what you're doing. Stay under 20 total grams of carbs a day. And I think you're going to notice that the symptoms of hypoglycemia are just going to continue to peter out and go away. Hey, Janine in Las Vegas.
Several of you are making my dressing for
Excellent.
Thanksgiving.
David Lee Brooks says, Dr. Berry, any thoughts on colostrum? Yes, David Lee Brooks. Colostrum is for newborn mammals. That's what colostrum is for. That's what I think about that. That colostrum is not for adults. Now, it may have some clinical therapeutic benefits in certain individuals, but to take colostrum as some kind of serum of immortality or youth elixir, that's foolishness. The colostrum's not for that. Mary Lou says, hey, y'all, hit the like button. I'll take that. Wild Unkitty says, what do you feed your chickens? Worms? How much? They get 3 scoops of dried mealworms. We don't eat the mealworms. The chickens eat the mealworms, and then we eat the eggs and chickens. They have 5 acres here that they can peck and eat grass and seeds and bugs and worms. They get plenty. They're all fat and happy.
Come pumpkins. Here, Becky. They also eat pumpkins.
Oh yeah. So all our pumpkins we bought for Halloween, we still got a ton. And every day I take a huge pumpkin out in the yard and I throw it up as high as I can in the air. So it's good weightlifting for me, right? It comes down thanks to gravity and it bursts apart and seeds and pumpkin guts go everywhere. And the chickens literally go apeshit and just attack it and eat it all.
They get scraps too anytime we have any
kind of leftovers. Chickens love meat. People don't know that, but if you've got leftover meat and you don't have a dog or a cat to give it to your chickens. They will wear it out.
Bethany, I have more than 50 pounds to lose. I'm so confused whether to do low carb, keto, carnivore, or Weight Watchers. I'm 46, perimenopausal, and I need a real lifelong change.
Well, 50 pounds to lose. What to do? Low carb, keto, carnivore. Definitely Weight Watchers is going to waste your time and money. You might lose 20, but you're going to gain back 25. Low carb might be all you need, or that might not be low carb enough. I would recommend you pick between keto and carnivore. You're 46 and perimenopausal. You may notice that your menopausal symptoms get much less severe on keto or carnivore. And keto and carnivore are going to give you long-term sustainable weight loss and improvement in hundreds of other health markers. Allie Gee's got a question. She said vegans' main concern about Dr. Berry is that your skin is always really red. Want to put that to rest? Allie Gee, it makes me really sad that vegans want to make fun of the color of my skin. I can't believe they judge me for the color of my skin. I really wish that they would focus instead on the information that I give and the research that I do. And the research
really is just red.
I'm just a redneck. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I've been this color. You can go back in my school annual yearbook, and when I was in 4th grade, I was the red kid. I have a lot of Nordic ancestry, a lot of Scotch Irish, and a lot of German, and we are ancestrally red people. But I really wish people would stop condemning me for the color of my skin. I don't feel like that's really fair. I think they should try to focus on the content of my content.
Glad we spent time addressing that.
Well, she asked the question.
What do you think about the blood type diet? Nonsense.
The blood type diet, when I first saw it, 12 years ago, whenever the book came out, it's very sexy. I was like, ooh, okay. I read the book, engulfed it in like 2 days. And then I'm like, okay, I got to see the research, right? Because that's what any common sense person does. They never just go, oh, that sounded so sexy, I'm just going to blindly believe it. So I started looking into it, and they actually cite some research. I looked that up, and that was like, that didn't really support your position there. And so you would think if you're going to write a book about a particular diet, you would include the research that really, really supports it. But there's none. I kept looking and finally gave up. And I have to say the blood type diet is bullshit. There's just literally no research that in any way shows it's appropriate. And also it cannot be ancestrally appropriate, because 100,000 years ago, nobody knew what their damn blood type was, because we didn't have Quest or LabCorp to tell us. So I think it's dumb. Sorry.
Belinda lost 70 pounds on keto, doing carnivore now, and she started to get pockets of cholesterol around her eyes, even though her A1C went from 9 to 5.0.
Yeah, I would have one of these biopsied and have it sent to pathology and confirm that it is indeed that. What I've seen with xanthelasmas for most people is they get smaller and go away on a keto or a carnivore diet. I strongly suspect you've got something else going on that's been misdiagnosed as that.
Arvin, one more question. In summary, what does the ideal lifestyle diet nutrition plan look like to lose fat, assist body and healing, decrease chances of illness such as cancer, and live healthy? Well,
Arvin, I've got 400 videos on this channel that's exactly what they're about. But I'll try to sum it up for you. You need to avoid all sugar. Number 1. Number 2, you need to avoid all grains of any kind. Number 3, you need to avoid all vegetable seed oils of any kind. Number 4, you need to eat lots of fatty meat. That can be seafood. That can be red meat. That can be poultry. You need to eat lots of eggs. You can have some cheese. You can have some nuts. You can have some berries. You can have some veg. But the majority of your plate, over half your plate, should be covered with some kind of meat and eggs at every single meal. You need to fast for anywhere from 14 to 20 hours a day. You can start with 14, have 3 meals a day in a 10-hour feasting window, and that's a great place to start. And so then you're going to start weaning down medications you don't need, supplements you don't need, and over-the-counter medicines that you don't need. I would start with my Keto 101 playlist. All the basic principles are there, and just watch those videos, or just play the entire playlist and listen to it like a podcast while you're doing something else.
Faye, I'm 282 pounds. I want to lose 100 pounds. Is this possible to achieve in 6 months doing strict carnivore?
Very likely. Now, you may not get to the 100-pound goal mark, but you're going to get very, very close to it. You're going to lose at least 70 to 85 pounds for sure. But you got to keep those carbs as close to zero as you possibly can. And don't be drinking protein powders and collagen powders. No powders No bullshit. Just eat meat and eggs. That's it.
Hey, Sean, thank you.
Sean says, hey, Granny Berry.
Did he send you $100 super chat?
Looks like it.
What?
Somebody,
What is happening?
one of our neighbors knows we're live. See, in the South, when you blow your horn, that means howdy.
In
But,
Chicago, it means get out.
In Chicago, it's not nice. When
we went. That's where we went for our honeymoon, and I was like, "Wow, they honk their horns a lot here."
Yeah. In the South, if you blow your horn, anybody out in the yard or out walking, they immediately wave, like, "Oh, hey!" But nobody waved in Chicago when you blew your horn. I don't know. Well, they waved, but it was just the one finger. It's a different kind of wave.
What you doing down there, buddy?
Thank you, Kisoon. I'm happy to help you improve your health.
We are overtime.
Okay. Dr. Diaz says, how do I gain weight on carnivore? You lift heavy weights, because I know, Dr. Diaz, you don't want to gain fat, right? There's only two things you can gain. Either you gain fat or you gain muscle and bone strength. If you want to gain muscle and bone strength, then you lift heavy weights on a routine basis. If you want to gain fat, you just eat more carbs. It's very simple.
Ryan wants to know, what's a safe storage for food and no plastic or metal, prep ready?
So as long as you're talking about storing something in the fridge or in the freezer, I think plastic is fine because the low temperature is going to keep the plastic less volatile. But plastic at room temperature or higher temperatures is no bueno. You don't want to do that, okay? So in the freezer or fridge, I think plastic is fine. All right, guys, we're going to go play with this boy.
Bye-bye.
Tell everybody bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Blow him a kiss. Oh, I love it. All right, guys, keep getting healthier every day. Keep teaching your family and friends how to eat a proper human diet. You're always welcome to share this video or any of my YouTube videos. When Beckett starts his channel, you can share his videos too.
Nope.
All right, guys, thank you so much for your support. Thanks to all our patrons. If you didn't get your questions answered tonight, go down in the show notes below. There's a link to my Patreon account. You can sign up for $1 a month, $3 a month, $5, $20, and ask me your questions directly, and I'll answer them. All right, guys, that's it. See you next time.
Bye.
Say bye-bye, Beckett. Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
You good boy.